everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I built unbreakable mental resilience. So before we start, make sure you are subscribed, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, get your notifications on, and let's get into the video. Alright, so when I say unbreakable, I generally just mean that I can come back from a lot of very bad things. Some examples like... oh gosh, okay. Trigger warning for mental health here, but I had 2 suicide attempts when I was 13 and 20. And that's one example, but a lot of disruptive things have happened in my life. Like, I've had a lot of challenges, which actually, if you want to see a mental health series, comment below because I would love to make that. But yeah, a lot of things have happened in my life that have required some mental resilience, and I used to be terrible at this. Like, I would have something bad happen to me and I would just get depressed over it, and I would be like, this sucks, my life is over, I hate this, and I would just get really, really down with it. And after a while I just realised that that wasn't helping me at all, and obviously it's important to feel your feelings and to learn from your failures, but to get sort of broken down by something is kind of counterproductive, or at least that was my experience. So the first thing that I did, and I'm going to be completely real with you here, is I went through a lot of shit. Like, there was a lot of like bad stuff, and that honestly gave me a lot of practice at coming back from things. And when I went to university, one of my friends said something that's really stuck with me, is that they said something like, you are scarily calm in bad situations, and that it was like stressful things, like we were trying to sign a house and we had some like drama with people we knew, and there was a lot of like mental health stuff going on, and it was like generally overall quite a stressful time. And they were like, why are you so calm? And I was like, I've been through worse. So I'm not going to pretend that mental resilience is something that, like, essentially if you've built a lot of mental resilience, the chances are you've gone through a lot of shit, and I completely respect that because I've also been through a lot of shit. But the good news is you don't have to go through a lot of shit to build mental resilience. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and this is going to sound like a cliche, but that's actually just gratitude. So I kind of changed my mindset a lot over the last few years, and I started seeing even the small things as something that I could be grateful for. So for example, I bought myself flowers the other day. I would show you, but they're over there. And every time I've got up in the morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have flowers, this is great. So even little things, like to find joy in the small things that you have, even if your life overall is quite stressful or you're dealing with a lot of stuff, just to find joy in small things, and also get small things to let yourself find joy in. Being adaptable and flexible is also a massive component of building mental resilience. So, for example, this summer I had an internship lined up. I was hoping to earn some money. I wanted to do a lot of stuff for this summer, and then I had some very I had a real sort of personal emergency, and I was in hospital for a while, and I was unemployed for 2 months, and my internship ghosted me. So that was all very bad, but what I thought was, okay, this is a chance for me to be flexible and find another way to make those goals happen. So I went for my Plan B internship. I got that fired up. I sent over 300 applications for jobs until I found one that suited me, and it's been great. I obviously took the doctor's advice and got better and got out of hospital, and I dealt with my personal emergency in a way that I had learned how to, basically. And I just had to embrace this idea that sometimes it's not going to go to plan, and I hate that. Like, I genuinely hate it because I am the biggest planner you will ever meet. Like, ask anyone who knows me, and I am neurotic about planning. So my summer went on its head, and I had to be flexible, I had to be resilient, because otherwise I would just have had a breakdown. I mean, I did also have a breakdown, but also I would have had more of a breakdown. Social support is also really useful. So I'm a massive introvert, but I do have a few very trusted close friends that I can always go to and I feel supported. And I often, like, during the summer, I talked to a lot of my friends and I said, look, I'm going through some shit. And they were all really supportive and they were, like, there for me. So that was great. Even if it's just, like, quality over quantity, like, even a few people, just a handful of people who absolutely have your back, it makes all the difference. Developing coping strategies. So, for example, I have a favourite band that I listen to non-stop and they are on my arm. See my tattoo video if you want. And I journal a lot and I've started to get out in nature more. And I've started to, like, develop my style and learn how to do makeup and all of that little self-care stuff that's really been helpful for me. Also, like, tacking onto that, it's not a shameful thing to get help. I've been in therapy 3, 4, around that many times, and I am currently on anti-anxiety medication, and it has improved my quality of life immensely. Like, going to therapy, it helped me deal with my suicidal thoughts, it helped me develop strategies to be not only a better person, but also a more stable person, and admitting that I needed medication was a really big step in, like, accepting help, and just being overall a calmer and more chill person, because I definitely had a shorter fuse when I was not medicated. I think, okay, I'm trying to practice what I preach here, but develop a healthy lifestyle. So I meal prep regularly. I try to eat well. I try to, like, you know, I take care of my skin, I take care of, like, trying to go outside, even though I am an introvert who does not like to go outside and who likes to rot in her room like I'm currently doing. And I've tried to, like, talk to more people and try to, like, stick to a schedule for myself. So all of those things, just creating an environment that's positive for yourself. Okay, my next tip is to develop problem-solving skills. This is actually a very employable thing to do, so if you need a way to make it productive, then think about that. But developing problem-solving skills is basically, you have a problem and there might be a million ways to solve it, but it's about analysing the problem and finding the best way to solve it, and sometimes that is sheer persistence. Like, when I was revising for my A-levels, I was terrible at maths, but I just did loads of past papers. I have another video on that, but ended up getting an A-star, and when I was unemployed, I just sent out job applications and, like, non-stop until I got a job. So sometimes persistence is genuinely the best coping strategy and problem-solving skill, but there are other ways to problem-solve, like, can you work smarter, or, like, can you make decisions more quickly so you don't sort of spend time worrying about them, that kind of thing. Okay, I have a couple more tips for you, and I'm just looking at my list. Yes, okay, so develop some emotional intelligence. I think journaling can really help with this, and it's not just for other people, but also in regard to yourself. So how are you feeling? Start to be more self-aware, start to recognise patterns in why you do what you do. Therapy helped me a lot with this. And now I can sort of look at my behaviour and go, oh, I'm doing that because I feel like this, or I like this because of that. And that really helped me, like, develop my self-knowledge and become a sort of an overall more chill person and just generally more resilient. Analytical reflection, kind of, this feeds into this, so just analyse what you do, write it down, think about why you do it. If you don't know why you do it, ask your friends. Maybe they will know why you do it. Often that has worked for me. Being kind to yourself and practicing meditation. Okay, I will be the first to say I do not meditate regularly. I do not do yoga. I would like to do both. However, I recognise that when I'm particularly anxious, I will sit down and I will just do a guided meditation, or I will, like, practice my breathing, and it genuinely does help. Like, I know it's the biggest cliche ever. Everyone says this. Everyone's like, do meditation, it will work. And it's genuinely not that simple, but also sometimes it is that simple. I think I have 2 more things for you, and the first one is to develop a sense of purpose. So what are you doing this all for? What is your life, basically? Basically my goal overall is that I want to become a green investor, and I want to be involved in, like, rainforest conservation, and that's been my goal since I was, like, 15, 16, and I've developed that over the years, so I've honed it, but that's my purpose. I want to, like, help restore the environment. That's basically my life goal. If I achieve that and I die, I will be happy. So that's my purpose, and that's what I'm working towards. That's why I wanted to do geography in my degree, and that's why I was motivated to do an internship and all of that stuff. So once you identify your values and what matters most to you, then that will really increase your motivation and drive to go out and get it, because you've got this like reminder in your head of, oh my gosh, I want to do this with my life, so I've got to do X, Y, and Z. And the final one is that I want you to embrace challenges as a way to learn. So when you come to a roadblock in your life, like you're unemployed, you have a mental health emergency, you have a dramatic like friendship breakup, or you have like you've been rejected for something you really wanted, be that a relationship or a job or anything, any failure that you have in life, what can you learn from it? So one way I've been implementing this is I look at my assignment feedback, and sometimes I am not very good at things, and I look at that and I'm like, okay, well, I won't do that again, or I'll do that but better, or... So basically, I'm just saying learn from your mistakes. Basically, this is a very long-winded way of saying learn from your mistakes, but learn from your mistakes. And essentially, no bad experience is wasted. Like, I don't want to say everything happens for a reason. I do not believe that. I think some things are senseless and they are horrible, and nobody deserves to experience them. Everything does not happen for a reason, but I think you can learn something from everything. So I would encourage you to learn something from everything, even if the something is, I don't want to ever be there again, and I'm going to work my hardest to make sure I'm never in that situation, which has been my lesson from a lot of my experiences in my life. I know this has been a really long video, but that's how I built Unbreakable Mental Resilience, and how I am an overall more chill and more happy person, and sometimes just do not give a fuck. And honestly, if I could sum up this entire video for you, learning how and when to give a fuck is genuinely maybe the most helpful strategy on this entire list. Sometimes you just don't need to give a fuck about something, and that's okay. And actually my anxiety meds have helped me a lot with that. So learn to give a fuck about the things that are important, and learn to not give a fuck about the things that are not important. That's all for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. I know this was a very long rant, but also follow me on Instagram, and that's all. Okay, I'm done. See you guys, bye!